I was driving home one night from a friend's house. It was a Friday around 11:30. I wasn't drinking or anything, just tired, and I had about a 30-minute drive ahead of me on mostly quiet roads. The first 10 minutes were just normal. I had the radio on low, sipping from a water bottle I brought with me. The streets were pretty much empty except for a few cars here and there. I remember thinking it felt unusually quiet even for that time of night. About 15 minutes into the drive, I turned onto this longer stretch of road that cuts through a rural area. It's not pitch black, there are streetlights here and there, but it's definitely more isolated than the neighborhood streets. That's when I noticed headlights in my rearview mirror. At first I didn't think much of it, it was just another car coming up behind me. But after a couple of minutes I realized they weren't passing me. They were staying a little closer than I was comfortable with, not tailgating, but just close enough to be noticeable. I changed lanes to see if they'd go around me, but they switched lanes too. I slowed down a little, they slowed down. I sped up, they matched it. I could feel my chest tighten a little, like, okay, maybe this person's just distracted, or maybe they're following me. I didn't want to assume anything yet. After a few more minutes of this, I decided to take a right turn onto a smaller street I usually don't take, just to see what they'd do. And sure enough, they turned with me. Now I'm starting to feel uneasy. I turned the radio off, and I remember the sound of my tires on the pavement felt louder than usual. I tried to tell myself maybe they lived down that way, but after another 2 turns, they were still behind me. That's when I decided to do something I've heard people say before. I drove in a loop. I took 4 right turns to end up back on the same road just to test if this car was really following me. And sure enough, every single turn I made, their headlights stayed right with me. My palms were sweating. I had both hands tight on the wheel. I thought about pulling into a gas station, but this stretch of road didn't have anything open nearby. It was mostly dark houses and empty lots. I figured the safest thing to do was to head toward a main road I knew well. So I made my way back to it, and as soon as I got there, the car behind me turned off their headlights. At first I thought maybe they just turned onto a driveway I didn't notice. But when I checked my mirror, I could still see the silhouette of a car behind me, just rolling with no lights on. That's when my heart dropped. I was gripping the steering wheel so hard my knuckles hurt. I thought about calling someone, but at the same time, I didn't want to take my eyes off the road. I just kept driving straight, hoping I'd see an open store or even another car. The creepiest part was how close they stayed. Even without headlights, I could still make out the shape of their hood reflecting faintly under the streetlights. Every time I slowed down, they slowed down. Every time I sped up, they stayed right with me. At one point, I switched lanes again, just to see. And even with no headlights on, they switched lanes too. I could actually hear my breathing getting shaky at that point. Finally, after maybe 10 minutes of this, I spotted a 24-hour gas station up ahead. I pulled in quick, and without even looking back, I parked near the entrance under the lights. My plan was to go inside immediately. But before I could even shut off my car, I glanced back toward the road, and the car that had been following me was just gone. No headlights pulling away, no car parked nearby, nothing. I sat there for a while, pretending to scroll through my phone, trying to calm myself down. Eventually, I convinced myself to just finish the drive home. The rest of the ride was quiet, and I didn't see them again. I don't know if it was someone messing with me or if it was something more serious, but the way they disappeared so suddenly like that still freaks me out when I think about it.